What horrors did Belgium do in our DRC, the Democratic Republic of Congo? So today's Congo region, what happened there? Once again, we go to the map. So first of all, we understand what this place is. It's in Africa. We go to Africa. Where is the DRC? Look at this place over here, DRC. So this is the Congo region, and the Belgians occupied this region from from the 1880s until the 1910s, 1920s. Belgium's King Leopold essentially owned this land. Okay, and they extracted the land of everything of any value that existed here, mainly rubber plantations. Okay, so now we understand. We'll close the map. So Congo is rich in forests. So the Belgians planted rubber trees everywhere, rubber plantations, and they enslaved the locals. The locals all became the property of the king. The local people who lived there became the property of the king, and they would then have to do whatever they were told by their Belgian overlords. So there was a major Belgian military presence there and a major Belgian missionary presence there. So the people were enslaved. They were all put to work on the rubber plantations and various mines or whatever, for whatever other mineral wealth, etc. Congo had. So rubber plantations, mines, all of that, that's where the people were made to work forcibly. Children were made to work. Child labor, slave labor, doesn't matter. It's good as long as the Belgian king, profits. So the Belgians were enslaved. The Congolese, the people of Congo were enslaved. Now what happened? They were brutalized. Many of them were overworked. Many of them were worked to death. And every slave was given a daily quota that you need to bring this amount of produce or material to your white boss every day. And if there was a shortfall of even a little bit, then they would meet brutal punishments. One of the common punishments was to chop off the person's hand. And sometimes they would not chop the guy's hands off, they would chop the hands of his kids. Right? And this was widespread. Brutal treatment. So today, in the 20th century, at least in Belgium, there was this famous chocolate that you could buy. What was the chocolate? It was hands. Cut hands. Would you like to see? It's true. I'm not making it up. Okay, let's see. So one is that, another is a tête de nègre, which we'll talk about. Okay, Belgian chocolate hands, chocolate Antwerp hands, whatever they call. Look at this. Look at this. I think it's still available. This is, essentially all those hands of the Africans that chopped off. Look at this now. Look at this. This blatant racism still continues. Look here. Can you see children with their hands chopped off? This is what Belgium did. This is just one example of what Belgium did. See, these are children. Children with their arms, with their hands chopped off, legs, hands as well as feet chopped off. And they celebrated this through these chocolates. They still do. Now I think it's called Antwerp chocolate hands or whatever. But this is how they celebrated this. There is another very famous chocolate confectionery that was available in Europe in the 20th century. It was called Tête de Nègre. Tête de Nègre bonbon. Look at this. Heads. Now it's called Tête au chocolat, and it's very tasty. And now it is not shaped like the head of a person, but it still has this vaguely head-like shape. As a child living in Europe in the 1980s, I also ate some of these chocolates without knowing what it was at the time. It was very tasty. Yeah. So what was the brutality that was done to the Africans? They were enslaved. They were worked to death. There were brutal punishments. Hands chopped off, feet chopped off, children with arms and limbs amputated. People killed, people executed for showing the slightest disobedience. children and families kidnapped and placed in internment or concentration camps, sexual abuse, widespread sexual abuse by the Belgians, brutal, horrific abuse by the Belgians, and the destruction of the local culture and the imposition of Christianity in a systematic manner. All of this was done by Belgium between the 1880s and the 1910s or 1920s. Yeah, good fun, wasn't it? For the Belgians, not for the natives.